Hello, and welcome to another episode of Talking Rangers. Today is Tuesday, September 9th. Hopefully, everybody's having a good day so far today. It is episode 69 of the Talking Rangers podcast. Hopefully, everybody's
Jeez.
doing well. We are back. It's been a couple months, about 2 months since our last episode. Been a very quiet off season for the Rangers. You had free agency, the end of the regular season. It feels like they haven't played a hockey game in forever, and that's kind of correct because the season ending in April, it's been a very long time compared to the previous year with getting to the conference finals and playing hockey into June. It's been a while, but the Rangers play a hockey game this month. They play a hockey game at MSG this month. Open it up in about 2.5 weeks, about just about from today. Sunday, September 21st will be their first game. Got the 6 games coming up in the preseason before they open up against the Pittsburgh Penguins on Thursday, October 7th. So we're less than a month away. Joe, long time since an episode, but we're back. Little training camp preseason preview. We'll have our season preview episode, and then we'll have our weekly episodes during the season. How's it going, man?
Dude, like you're right. I feel like the off season so much longer than it had been, I guess, 2 of the last 3 seasons, not counting last season. But I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's kind of a weird period for the Rangers. Like, I don't really know, what the season's going to entail. Like, I guess we could probably make the playoffs, but at the same time, like I could see them doing the same thing and being like mediocre, just missing the playoffs. But you have the new coach, you have a couple of young guys coming in, a bunch of old guys going out. So it's kind of like for me, it's like a wait and see kind of a year, or like we'll see what happens. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I agree. I'm right there with you on that. It's kind of not very high expectations. I don't know if it can be worse than last year. I think at worst they're probably where they were last season. But yeah, there's a lot of questions. You have a new coach, right? Mike Sullivan, and you have a lot of different pieces, a lot of still questions on this roster. Rookie camp will start up tomorrow, so we'll see. Gabe Pro and some of those guys. I think Othman's also actually participating as well. Berard, you'll have some of those guys. So
So that's
we'll
like a fifth-year senior in high school.
yeah, it
Like,
is.
what is
You're
he
right.
still
It's
doing
it's
there?
or a some 30-year-old in college football, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's using his like 15th year of eligibility. His
Yeah,
COVID year.
yeah, he keeps stacking that up. So yeah, it's a lot of the young pieces gonna kind of be banking on a lot of these young pieces stepping up in bigger roles for this team this year, needing to see development out of these young pieces, and then just from some of the veterans, you want to see some of these guys bounce back. I mean, Lafreniere had a poor year, very poor season compared to what the expectations were for him coming off of, a promising 23-24 season. And then what the heck are you going to get out of Mika Zibanejad at this point? I think he is who he is at this point. I don't think anybody has very high expectations. And, you hope Trocheck, I think you expect Trocheck to bounce back. A little bit of a down year for him, but he's a guy that has enough of a track record for you expect him to bounce back. Mika's kind of a guy where we've seen this downward spiral now for about 2 to 3 years. Panarin, JT Miller, Miller, maybe the next captain. Who knows? We'll see. But I guess, yeah, I mean, Othman, I guess we could start with him. What is just rookie camp starting tomorrow? I mean, what do you want to see out of some of these young guys? Othman being the big one. This is it for him. He's, yeah, fifth-year senior in high school, a 15th year of eligibility in college football, whatever way you want to put it. It's crazy that we're still here with Othman, where it's another season of just him having to prove himself, and he hasn't been able to, and now's really his last chance.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't kind of want to come off as like negative. I mean, it's it's not even in the season, but like
Yeah.
it's early, obviously. But I probably think he's not going to be the player that obviously you think he's going to be, or people think he's going to be. Maybe he's a fourth line player, maybe third line at best, but I don't know. He's not a good skater. So there's really nothing much there. I mean, will he even be on the team? Maybe just because he's old-ish. Well, he's not old, but like in the grand scheme of things, but like towards his development, being a prospect, he's kind of at that time where like I think he's going to have to play, and then if he sucks, then they're going to get rid of him. But I think he's gonna make the team. I assume he will, but I guess you never know. But I don't know. It was kind of disappointing just because, like, people thought, oh, it could be this like enforcer type player, play top six, kind of like a Matthew Brady Kachuk kind of player, but obviously he doesn't have the skill or the skating is like one of those guys. But we'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm not too like really honestly like into what he is this year. Like, I'm not like I think he's not someone that I'm really looking forward to doing anything. I think he could just be like a decent bottom six forward, maybe. Like I said, at the best, but yeah, I don't know. There's not really much with him. I think that his time already passed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, yeah, I agree. I don't have very high expectations, and from what you expected coming in here, he's not going to hit that, nor is he really even going to be in a position to hit that. The first round pick, 2021, was 16th overall. It's frustrating, kind of just one of these another prospect that just
Didn't
hasn't
even
panned
play.
out.
Didn't
Yeah,
even play.
didn't play. Um, when he did play, he didn't really
He
show
didn't
you
look.
much. I mean, he's been 25 games, so it's hard. I mean, he hasn't scored a
He
goal.
gives you like,
So
he'll bring the effort, like he'll
yeah,
forecheck hard, but he can't really do anything else. And if you can't really contribute and like as like a skill type player, like any type of skill, then you can't play in the top nine.
hmm
Definitely can't play in the top six. But I don't know what he's going to be. I'm interested. Maybe maybe they give him some sort of a leash, and they kind of give him chances at the top, maybe even the top six. But I highly doubt it. Um, we'll see though.
yeah. I guess some of the other guys, other young guys, looking at. I mean, Perot is the biggest one. Obviously, you've got Berard as well. Um,
I think Perot's going to be not on the team. That's my guess.
to open things up.
I think he's going to be in the AHL, which probably is the right move.
And you
But
think,
I think what they should do though, get him going, get him down there, maybe a month, and then bring him up. Don't bury him down there.
yeah,
You could if you want. Like I'd be okay with him making the team. Let him let it get his feet wet a little bit more. That he played a couple games obviously at the end of the year.
yeah,
See if he can handle it, and if he can't, then you send him down. But you gotta bring him back up though. He can't go down there for too long.
yeah. He's got to see play time. He's got to get minutes up at the NHL level, and they've got to give him a chance. They can't, and even when he's up with the team, you can't just bury him, and you can't bury him in the minors either, like you said.
Yeah, if he's up, he's got to play top six. I think not top.
Yeah,
He can't be on the third line. He's got to be top.
especially if we're in a situation where we were in last year, where veterans aren't playing well, top six isn't producing, and the team's struggling. There's no excuse for him not to be out there. I mean, it was malpractice by Laviolette last year to have him healthy scratch when the team
And I
was out
think
of the
they
playoffs.
got to let the kids go through growing pain. Where
Yeah,
like what they kind of messed up with the last group of like kids would be like not giving them the right minutes. Like you were having them in the NHL, but they weren't getting a lot of minutes, so it kind of defeated the purpose. You know what I mean? Like if you're
yeah,
gonna have a prospect or young guy in the NHL that you have hopes to being a good player, top six forward, I think they got to play in the top six. I think burying them on the third and fourth line just defeats the purpose of them being in the NHL because they're not going to develop. No player is going to develop like that. Yeah, either play them in the top six in Hartford or play them in the top six in the NHL. That's what I would
yeah.
do.
Yeah, I agree. He's got to see play time. He's got to go through the growing pains. You can't just bury him. That's not how these guys get better. And we've seen that, like you said, with this last group here. Just got done talking about Othman. Um, what I guess any others from this rookie camp that you're
Well, Berard
looking out
probably
for?
isn't. He's not on there, right?
Yeah, I don't think he is.
Well, he's kind of in that situation where like he's a young guy. I would say out of all the young guys on the team, I'm probably mostly curious and looking forward to seeing what he can do
Yeah,
because he's a good skater. He's a little small, but
he does what the Rangers need.
I think
Pushes play,
I'd like to
gets to
see
the
him.
net.
I'd like to see that kid get a chance to play, like a legit
Yeah,
top six chance to play. I think
yeah,
he's more suited for a top six, top nine role than a guy like Offman, just because he's a good skater. But
yes.
he's a feisty player, so I think
And
he's
he
gonna have a
showed
good
some
impact.
positives last
Yeah,
year.
he did.
his play time. And that's another thing too. Othman, when he's been given the chance, but yeah, he's so much more just explosive, better skater, generates offense significantly more than Othman. Othman, he's invisible out there. Berard, in the games he played, I mean, he had 10 points, he had the 6 goals. In the games he played, he was very noticeable. Othman wasn't, and that just better skater, does a good job getting to the net, does a good job of generating offense. He's a exciting piece. I mean, I think he's definitely going to play a bigger role than probably expect him to actually probably have a better year than Perot.
I mean, maybe just because the fact also that I think that they're not going to play him at the NHL level to begin. But there's a chance either way, like that. Even if he does, he still maybe is a better performer because he's a better skater. Because Perot's not really a great skater either. But I don't know. They don't really have much defensemen that are in the pipeline. I mean, they have EJ Emery. I think for the most part, it's relatively disappointing.
Yeah.
He's not even going to be at that camp. I'm pretty sure he went back to school. So I think all the players that went back to school aren't even going to be on that camp. I do actually, I got the list up. I do see Scott Morrow.
Yeah, Scott Morrow is one that I wanted to bring up. That's an interesting one. He will be there. They got 7 defensemen and the 13 forwards and then the 2 goalies, but that doesn't matter. But yeah, Scott Morrow is
maybe the kid that they got from the Cryo trade. What's his name? Carey Terrence. Maybe he shows something. I mean, he's a pretty fast kid, so that could be something that you kind of look at that. I guess Noah Laba, he looked pretty solid, I guess, when he came up, but
another recent draft pick.
Yeah, like he looked good when he came up to the AHL after college.
Yeah. If anything, it's funny, the Rangers have hit more on these middle rounds than they have with the first round picks, at least recently. I mean, they found Berard was 5th, Rempe was a 6th. They were in that same draft. And we've gone through this before, but I mean, Edstrom was 2019 6th. Yeah. And they're 4th, 5th players, so it's not like they've been
They're both at the Jets game.
Yes, they were.
Sunday.
We had
Rempe and Edstrom.
two goats and Wayne Gretzky.
We're also at the Jets game on Sunday. Right,
yeah. So I'm sure Wayne Gretzky was. I'm sure Edstrom and Matt Rempe were dropping all sorts of knowledge on Gretzky.
Dude, what a name this guy! The one I still can't believe this guy's name. The one dude they drafted last year, Evan Passmore.
Oh,
I could just see the memes about this guy if he ever makes the NHL.
If he ever makes the team,
that'd be so.
Yeah, he was the 6th rounder, right?
I'm rooting for him to make the team.
Yes.
Yeah,
Evan Passmore. That's a joke. That fit right in. Fit right in with the Rangers. How about we can still talk about rookie camp, but just moving on a little bit. Blake Wheeler back.
He's back. Back like he never left.
Yep. This is big. He's coming for Drury's job.
He is coming for Drury's job. Next GM, maybe?
Maybe. Next GM.
You heard it here first. In Nick 4 years, Benino, we broke the news.
Yes. We were ahead of it. But, Blake Wheeler is back. The Rangers legend from 23-24 is back with the team. So if they have success, we know why. Blake Wheeler's back. Hey, the last time they made the conference finals, Blake Wheeler was on the team.
He was with the organization. Yeah, with the organization.
1 year, Blake Wheeler's gone.
100% guaranteed. 100% of the time that Blake Wheeler has been on in this organization, they've gone to the conference final. So
it's funny the amount of times I've seen the Blake Wheeler celebrating after the
where Mika turns around and gives him the puck or whatever.
Yeah, that and the one when they won it in Florida or won in overtime in Florida, and he was in his suit and because he was not playing and he was
the next game we lose.
That one. Yeah, I've seen that one a lot as well.
What a genius call by Peter Laviolette.
Yeah. That was the Mika, the smiling. That was that game against was it the Oilers?
Maybe.
Because that game, I think they ended up losing that game. That was the game they gave up, I think,
the Oilers at the Garden.
I think that was the game they let up the 4 goals in the 3rd period. They collapsed.
Draisaitl was talking shit.
Yeah, I believe that was the game because I remember Wheeler, I think, scored, and I don't think there was anything the rest of the game. It was right before Christmas. It was that
God,
late
I'm so
December
happy
game.
I don't like as much as I'm gonna miss Kreider, like I'm so happy I
Oh,
don't have to see him playing with Zibanejad. I
yeah,
hated those guys playing together.
yeah. That's good. And that's one thing I will say that I'm kind of looking forward to this season is I don't know, there's no real expectations and they've shook up the core a bit. Like maybe there's just a new energy around this team, new coach, Kreider's gone, Truba's gone. Kind of
Miller,
have a little bit of a new sense of leadership. Like you feel like Trocheck's going to lead the room, JT Miller lead the room. It's not going to be the Truba, Kreider, Mika show anymore. Even though Mika's still here, I think he's going to kind of take a back seat from probably where the type of like the voice he's had in this room. I think he's probably going to take a back seat now. I mean,
yeah.
he's still probably getting over, Kreider leaving. You got to give him his time.
Ugh,
It's going
I
to
keep
take
forgetting
some
he's still on
time.
the team.
Um,
It should
but
have got
in all
picked up.
seriousness, though, there is part of me that is like, I am looking forward to that aspect of this season where there's no real expectations, number one, but number two, it's a little bit of a refreshing change. We're not going to talk about, oh, we're not going into this season talking about which winger
Who's
is going to play
playing
with
with? Yeah,
Ryder, and that's nice and doesn't mean they're going to win a ton of games. It doesn't mean, I mean, in a metro where, Carolina and the Devils are probably going to lead the way. They're going to have to kind of scratch and claw and fight for the wild card. But I think that's refreshing. Like a new group, you got some of these young guys, Perot, Berard, can they play roles in this team? Um, you have even with Gavrikov now next to Fox, I think is something you could look forward to. There's somebody like a Scott Moreau who will be at rookie camp. Does he at all any play a role? Like he showed some flashes in his short play time with Carolina. Is he somebody that at any point can play? Like there's some things to look forward to from the young side of things, and then just from the locker room and other roster standpoint, JT Miller I
yeah.
think will have a pretty solid year, and
Carson
it's
Soucy,
just a
team
refreshing
MVP
change
this
from
year.
the same roster we've talked about.
Carson Soucy is gonna win team MVP, I think.
Yes, Carson Soucy is
I mean,
is going to win.
if you just look at the roster, like from looking at it, it just doesn't seem like a playoff roster though. I know, like I think they're gonna compete for a wild card, like you were saying, but
Yeah, they're not winning the
look at
Metro.
their
No
defense.
chance.
They have Vakanainen and Carson Soucy, pretty
Mm-hmm.
bad. I mean, Borgen's like whatever. I guess hopefully, like you said, you hope Fox can play well with Gavrikov.
Gavrikov, yeah.
But I don't
Fox has
know.
got to be better. There's really no excuse now. He's got to get
I don't
back
think
to
Morrow is going to play that much. I think
no.
he'll probably end up being the seventh defenseman, but
Hmm.
we'll
But
see.
I think he's going to get some opportunities, and at least can he show you something in those opportunities? Because
Yeah,
ideally, somebody like a Susie's not a part of this plan long term. I mean, he
no,
shouldn't even be here
he'll
to
probably be
begin
gone
with.
after the year.
But and Will Borgen and Euro Vakanainen were guys that they had their eye on for a while. So
Oh yeah, I mean,
you know they
who is going to be the next guy that we had our eye on?
I don't even know. It'll be some bum they trade for in December when the season's spiraling,
The
just like
Rangers are
last
like
year.
in last place and they need a shake up, so they trade Vakanainen for someone who's like worse than him.
Yeah, and say they've been eyeing him up for a while.
We
If you've
wanted
been
to
eyeing him
draft
up for a
the guy.
while, then why didn't like if they trade Carson Soucy for some scrub and they say, "Oh, we've been eyeing this guy for a while," then why didn't you trade for him in the offseason? It's like Soucy, you knew wasn't going to be any good.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like I'll compare this like it's kind of like the Jets, where it's like new coaching comes in, but not but the Jets have been bad. But like I'm saying more of as like the season where like you don't really know what to think of the season.
Hmm.
Like they're probably not. You
Yeah,
don't think they're
it's
probably not going to be good, but you never know. Maybe they could compete for a wild card spot. It's kind of like the Jets. You're expecting them not to be good though. You have the new coach, so it's like it's hard to kind of grasp what we're really going into the season
mhm.
rooting for. Obviously, you want to win the Stanley Cup, but like realistically,
Yeah. I
like we're
mean,
not.
as a
So like, I don't know how to feel about this team. Like, there's a difference of how you feel for a team that can contend, and there's a team where they're going to be like fighting for the first overall pick, and then there's just like no man's land where like, especially the Rangers, where like they're not even like an up and coming young team that probably will miss the playoffs. They're an old team that, it's a very weird kind of season where you don't know where they're going to be. But I don't know. Like, what do you think? Like, I don't really have. It's a weird. Like, I don't know what to think.
Yeah, and that's there's no real expectations. It's kind of just see what happens with this group. They're in that weird transition right now where they are doing like a slight retool of moving on from this previous core while also having some of these veterans and reshaping the roster. Yeah, I mean, as a fan, you want them to win the Stanley Cup. You want every single team you root for every single year to win a championship. Like anytime when you turn on the Rangers every single night, you want to see them win every single game. But realistically, that's not going to happen. And realistically, they're not going to probably win the cup, and there's a chance they don't even make the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, I mean, if it goes as planned, he should make the conference finals,
When
right?
new coach then,
Yeah, new coach, conference finals, and then first round exit, fired, or don't make the playoffs. But no, I mean, all seriousness, yeah, I hope for a fun season where, and we'll probably dive more into this when we get to the season preview, but I think for me, I want them to make the playoffs and all that stuff, and I think they can. I think they could squeak in the final spot. Maybe that's just preseason optimism, although neither of us are really very optimistic about this team. And I don't really think them saying they were going to make the second wild card spot's that optimistic, because for a team that was 2 games away from making the Stanley Cup 2 years ago, now settling for one of the last playoff spots is not great. But can they be like can they be a likable team? Like last year, they were so unlikable. You couldn't. They were so hard. They weren't an easy team to root for. Seriously,
no,
they played such a terrible brand of hockey. They didn't care. There was
they're
no
awful off the
urgency.
ice.
Yeah, awful off the ice. They gave up on the coach. They had all the locker room issues, the Trouba stuff that crept. We heard
Gaudreau.
all about that. The trade memo, yeah, everything. So, and Gaudreau, like you said, all of that, like the excuses, all the nonsense. It was such an unlikable
We're
bunch of
almost
players.
there. We know what we got to do. It's the same like
Mhm.
recycled shit that like
Yeah,
the fans didn't want to hear.
no, nobody did. So hopefully there's a little bit more of a sense of accountability, and hopefully,
Maybe a sense of urgency too, because it seemed like
yeah,
they were
sense of
never urgent.
urgency, and
It was
hopefully
always
a
like,
team
oh,
that
like
just
we're gonna figure it out. We're good. Like
yeah. They relied, I think, a lot on last year of their track record more so than what was actually happening. I think they saw, okay, this core has been to 2 conference finals in the last 3 years. I think they just relied on we'll figure it out at some point. And as we all know, it got laid out early. They never figured it out. So I mean, they couldn't win 3 games in a row last year.
that was
They
crazy.
couldn't go on a run. Can this year, can they have a stretch where they
How
win
about they win the
10 of
first
like
3 games of the
13?
season?
Hmm?
I think they eventually did end up winning 3 games in a row, right?
They might have. Well, early on they did,
I'm
but
saying at the end of the year.
end of the year,
Didn't they beat like the
yeah,
Panthers at the end of the year to make it
they
like 3 straight wins?
they may have. They had
I'll,
that one stretch
I'll look it up.
where it was like 4 of 5. It was late February or early March. It was coming off of the
I just remember they
Four
kept winning 2
Nations.
games in a row, and then everyone's like, "Oh, like okay, let's win
Yeah,
3 in a
now
row,"
we're
and
back,
they
and
always lose that game.
yeah, and then remember they had those 2 home games against Nashville and the Islanders where they outscored them 8-0, had the back-to-back shutouts, and
Yeah,
then
that
they
was the
had the
third
big
game.
game against the Capitals and they laid the dud. They lost, I think, in overtime. And then they had that brutal loss in Ottawa where they blew the lead.
Oh my
That
god,
afternoon
yeah.
game,
What about the one in
that was a
Montreal?
disaster. Yeah. And then they followed it up with a loss. I think they lost like 4 in a row after that. And that
Oh
was the
no.
season.
Okay, so they didn't win 3 games in a row.
I don't think at all.
Okay, the only time they won 3 games in a row was
They had the good
they won 3 games
January.
in a row. November 14th, 17th, and so they won in November. So
Yeah.
14th, 17th, and the 19th they beat the they beat the
Sharks.
Sharks, Kraken, and Canucks.
Yeah.
So they win.
Uh-huh.
They win. The last what? What is that? That's the 11th month. So they went what? 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. They went 5 months without winning 3 games in a row.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were 12-4-1 at that point, so
Isn't
they
that
were
ridiculous?
17 games in, so that means they went
They
65
went.
games the rest of the way without winning
No,
3 in
they
a row.
went 4 months without winning 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
absurd.
And their best stretch was January.
And you know what? And I think the only time the whole season, I think they had one multi-goal comeback, and it was the second to last game of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, they never came back. That's another thing, right?
That
The
was
year prior.
they had one multi-goal comeback, and
Yeah,
it
and the
was
year
the second to
prior,
last game of the season. That's insane.
it was all multi-goal comebacks. It was all,
It took them 81
the
games to get a multi-goal comeback.
yeah. No, you're right. They when they fell down last year, they didn't handle adversity well at all. They gave up. I mean, they got blown out in some games too. They had that terrible loss against Carolina, like right before the Four Nations.
What
I
about that game
remember they
against
got
the
shut out.
Sabres?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
same that was coming out of the Four
yeah.
Nations. They had that 8 goal. That was a
Didn't they get the
disaster.
crap beat out of them by like the Flyers in a meaningful game
Yeah,
at the end of the year?
Columbus, they got
Oh
destroyed. And
yeah,
then yeah, that Flyers game was the game with on TNT with Sam Rosen and
Davison.
yeah, Davidson. That was quite the Sam Rosen
What a
farewell.
present for him, right?
I know. Yeah, that game was a disaster too. Yeah, there was just some bad games. They
What about that Flames
that
game? I
bad
don't know if
loss
you remember
against
this.
Jersey.
They played a Flames game at home. It was horrible.
Hmm. They got those two Jersey games were terrible. The one right before Christmas,
What
the
about the
5
Blackhawks
nothing.
game?
Yeah, the Blackhawks game too. Jeez. And then they just had some of those like bad losses. Remember the what was it? I think it was the Avalanche game at
Oh yeah,
home
they
where
turned
they
the puck
blew
over
the
at the
lead.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They lost like 5-4. There was a couple bad games too where they blew it. They blew that Ottawa game. So, just the point to all this is can at least some of those blown games, can you at least hold on to those leads this year? And some of the games that you just crashed and burned and just fell down early and couldn't come back, and you come back in some of those, and that's your path to the playoffs. That's your path to improving. And
Yeah.
that's your path to this season being enjoyable is some comeback wins, a team that this fan base can enjoy watching like night in and night out. I mean, it got to the point where we came on these episodes every single week and it was the same thing. It was literally
It was pretty much we just crapped out like
post the same
Mika
episode every
and
week and
Miller.
change.
At least we don't have to watch Keandre Miller play defense anymore.
That is true. That's another one that's gone that I did not mention. Yes. Don't have to watch that anymore. Like them in March, it was just unwatchable. It was unwatchable. Even though they were still in the playoff race, you knew they were not making it.
Yeah.
And there was part of you that didn't even want them to because it's like, so what's 5 more games going to do? Because you knew they weren't going anywhere in the playoffs.
If you had to choose, I guess assuming 2 out of the 3 players maybe not. Do you think? Wait, first, do you think Mika plays winger or center?
Probably wing. I think it'd probably be Trocheck and Miller.
So then, what would the roster look like? It'd be like who would be our center? It'd be Carrick, Miller, Trocheck, and who would be the third center?
Parsonen.
Parson, jeez.
Or unless if you slide Mika to third center.
I mean, if you don't play him at center, I guess Parson would be a third line center, which I mean, last year they didn't even have him playing center, which makes no sense to me. That doesn't make any sense though. If they wanted Mika to play center, you would think they would have went out and got one.
Yeah.
If they wanted him to play wing. So part of me thinks he's going to play center. So
and then
I would say this: like, out of these 3 players, from like most likely to least likely, who do you think has like the best chance of making the team out of Berard, Perreault, and Offman? Or I guess assuming 2 of them probably won't make the team, but like I guess out of those 3 guys, like this guy's definitely going to be on the team, this guy probably will be on the team, and this guy won't be on the team.
I think Perreault makes the team.
And would you say
I do?
Okay, so if
Berard next
opening night roster, you're saying that Offman.
I think he makes the team. Offman's not making the team though.
Do you think it'd be worth it for him to be like a scratch, or you think at that point just get rid of him?
I mean, just get rid of him. If he can't make the team, that means he didn't do anything in camp or enough in camp.
Yeah.
He's not going to pan out. Like, it's not going to. We've been down this road. It's not going to.
I don't know. I kind of agree. I think that, like, well, I don't know if he'll make the team, but I would like to see Perreault make the team, but Like
I
if
think he
you know,
does.
it kind of all stems on what they think the team's going to be as far
Mhm.
as like how good, and then this as well as like how does um Sullivan treat the young guys?
Yeah.
Is he going to be more like I'm going to play the young guys, or is he going to be like I'm going to play the veterans trying to win? So
Mhm. Yeah, that's what's interesting, and I mean, you have to kind of balance that because I think you can win by playing the young guys. Like I do think there was a path to that.
yeah, I mean he's
Um,
still like for as much as I didn't like the contract, he's still probably the best goalie in the league. So you have
yeah,
that still going for you. I mean, I thought he was pretty underwhelming last year. I think he was pretty bad in like close games. So you got
yeah.
to think maybe he plays better in games that are more tight, but obviously Quick's
Also,
back
hopefully the defense in front of him is
better. I mean, no two
better.
on ones. I mean, how many two on
Yeah.
ones did you get last year? It was
Can
ridiculous.
they, unlike Keandre Miller, can they actually take on a rush?
Maybe the power play won't suck this year. I didn't have that on my
Yeah.
bingo card last year. Power play was going to
Should
suck.
hopefully it
I,
doesn't suck.
I did not think the power play was going to suck. That was one thing where I was like, okay, well, like I don't know how we're going to
It's a
be.
constant. They're not going to
I
score
thought we
five
were
on
going to
five, but they'll
contend
score on
again.
the
I was like,
power play.
okay, we're going to contend again. Power play would be good. Power play sucked.
Yeah. Power play's got to be better. And it's funny because they were good shorthanded. Shorthanded was their power play.
Oh my god, they probably scored more shorthanded goals probably at the end of the year than power play goals. I mean,
Yeah.
remember the game against the Ducks? How bad that? We were talking about bad games. Remember that game?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was brutal. That was one of the nails in the coffin.
Yeah, that you know, when they lost that game, I knew the season was over.
Yeah. You can't lose in overtime to the Ducks. And then they
They blew like a
and then a
multi-goal
couple of
lead, I
days
think.
after that, they had that shutout against the Devils, which was the real nail in the
Oh,
coffin.
the one on like Saturday afternoon or
Yeah,
whatever.
Saturday afternoon garbage.
That
Ugh.
was fucking awful. You're right.
That was Pro's debut, I think.
No. He debuted against like the Wild or something, I think.
He did? I thought he
Yeah,
debuted that
at
game.
home.
Oh yeah, you're right. I think he did debut that game. Or,
Nah, this is it's just mind-boggling.
yeah,
How shitty that this team played
because
last
the
year.
college kids were there. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think that it's an interesting camp just because I'm curious to see kind of how the roster shapes up going into camp and like
Hmm.
how they're going to play guys during camp. How kind of maybe like obviously power play maybe it's different or like different lineup like how they're pairing people up and then just in general like how Sullivan's going to coach his team. So I don't know. He hasn't coached the team to the playoffs in a couple of years now. Was it 3 years?
Yep.
Since was it the last time they made the playoffs when they lost to the Rangers?
Yes, I think so.
So he missed it in 22, 23, 23, 24, and then he missed in 24, 25. So that's 3 years. Yeah. I mean, he is.
Yep.
I mean, we can kind of talk about this if kind of maybe one of the last things we talk about in this episode. But like, I did see something where like he was saying that like Fox has got like earn his way onto the Olympic team. You see that?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
he's definitely gonna be on the Olympic. I mean, dude,
I think
he's
so.
not gonna not take Fox. I mean, that's crazy.
No.
If he doesn't take, I mean, I'm not a Fox hater, but I'm pretty like harsh on him. Where like I think his skating is really deteriorated, and I think he's kind of on like a downward
Yeah,
trajectory.
he hasn't
Like,
been the same.
yeah, but like you still got to take out him, even if you don't, because like he's better than players that you're going to take to sit in the
Yeah,
fucking press box.
and
Like,
you're
at the very
coaching him.
worst,
Just stop.
you gotta just take him. Like if he doesn't,
Yeah,
you don't have to play him. But I feel like
just
that looks
take him.
bad if you don't take him, especially he's your
No,
number one
yeah,
defenseman.
it is a bad look.
He's
It's
definitely gonna. I think maybe just using that as motivation for Fox. I think that
mhm.
maybe he's playing like 3D chess there,
No, I kinda
where he's like
like
trying to say,
playing
oh,
the
maybe he's
fire
not gonna
under
make
him.
the team, pushes
Mhm.
Fox into getting back to that Norris Trophy level defenseman. But
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. I saw that
Yeah.
where it's like he's kind of calling Fox out.
No, I agree too. I think hopefully he can this locker room, you can kinda motivate it a little bit more and get some more out of all these guys, um, than what we've
I
gotten.
would
Like, they
like
kinda
that
just
though.
gotten
If he
complacent.
can publicly start calling these guys out,
Yeah, and
then
hold
I'd
them
like that.
accountable.
You gotta, yeah, like I mean, Gallant kind of did that, but at the same time, he kind of let them. He was very like weird, where like it looked like he was about to call these guys out, but then he let them
Yeah.
just like continue to play. Laviolette did none of the above, didn't call people out, and then didn't bench anyone. So maybe Sullivan's more of like a guy that's gonna hold the veteran guys accountable for once.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, he coached Sidney Crosby, so maybe he knows what a good leader is, and you got to hopefully that you got to take into that he's going to implement that with the Rangers. But yeah, I would say this year I'm just looking for accountability.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I want to see here. What are the Rangers? And we could close things out. The Rangers
Stanley Cup odds.
odds here at the playoffs.
Oh, the playoffs? I'd probably say it's probably like minus like 105 or something, like almost even, minus 110, plus like 110. It's probably around there. It's probably very close to even odds. I'd be surprised if it was like more than like plus 200. NHL playoff odds. Let's see. See if I can
Yeah, plus BetMGM plus 1,300. Here we go.
no,
Full
that's
ESPN
cup.
thing.
Wait, 1,300?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was looking at Stanley Cup. Let me look. You do playoffs, I'll do Stanley Cup.
I don't even know if they have playoff odds up.
Yeah,
The
they
Rangers are
don't.
30 to 1 to win
Yeah,
the Stanley
30 to
Cup.
1 for Cup.
That's a terrible bet if you put your money on that.
And then they are 16 to 1 for the conference.
I don't know. I don't know if it gives you like playoff odds now. It might
Yeah, I
not.
don't think it does. The only thing that's popping up is Stanley Cup odds.
If I had to say, it'd probably be around even.
Mm-hmm.
I would say they probably will. If I had to bank on it, I don't think I feel like for the most part, everyone had a career low year almost.
Yeah. No,
And
yeah,
that's
everything
not
that
gonna
could have
happen
went
again.
wrong last year went wrong. And
That won't happen again.
they'll probably have a little bit of a new coach boost too. That always happens.
Okay, I
Win
did
some
find some
games
website
early.
that gave up the odds. It says the Rangers to make the playoffs in this year is minus 190. So
Okay.
that's
I'll
higher
tell you
than I
what,
thought.
they are loaded with home games down the stretch. Their
That
schedule
won't
this
matter.
year,
That won't
they'll
matter.
already have the Metro locked up.
Oh, it's going the other way. They already have like
They'll-
the first the highest they
Yeah,
have the most ping pong balls
yep.
for kind
But
of.
it is crazy how many. They have a stretch in March into April where they play 7 straight home games.
That's ridiculous. They probably have a crazy. I feel like they never play home games to begin the season.
No. Oh, it's always late, which I prefer. Like if they are in the playoffs, you want those games to be at MSG.
Yeah.
And if you suck, I mean, it doesn't matter. But yeah, they have a ton of road games to open up. I mean, heck, like the second week of the season, they've already got to go out with that Canada trip.
They'd always do that. Like,
Yeah.
don't they do that in November?
Uh,
They're like the
yeah, it's late
Oilers,
October.
Flames,
Yeah,
or
they
is
got
that
the
in
Flyers,
October?
Canucks, Edmonton, and then the Kraken, and they
What is
come
that?
back. It's the 26th through November 1st.
Yeah. See, they always do that every year. It's like the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's always early.
And I feel like right around New Year's is when they go down to Florida. Do they do that this year?
Yeah, well, they have the Winter Class or the Stadium Series.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like it feels like they
Yeah,
always go down to Florida at around New Year's.
I think that's the day after New Year's Day, or maybe that is New Year's
We
Day.
will have boots on ground for that game, though. Not me.
Yes,
Danny will be there.
Danny will be there.
Danny will be
Talk
the
Rangers correspondent Danny.
that's Talking Rangers reporter.
Wow, those tickets have got to be crazy.
Maybe we'll get us some clips and stuff.
Yes,
We'll
yes,
have some
player
winter
interviews.
content.
Yeah.
Maybe the Rangers will be the best team in the league at that point. It'd be a
Did you?
battle of
You didn't go to MetLife, right?
do not go. No. I
Yeah,
was gonna
neither
go.
did I. I had serious FOMO with the way they won it.
I know. That would
That
have
would
been
have been a
sick.
lot of fun. I didn't go. Did you go to either the ones at Yankee or City?
No,
I
I
didn't
never
go
went to
either.
an
I've
outdoor
never
hockey game
been.
before.
Yeah, never been either. MetLife, I should have went. That was it. I was gonna get tickets the night before, and I didn't. And with the way the game was going, I was happy. But then when they
When they were
came
losing,
back,
yeah.
yeah, when they were getting crushed, I was like, okay,
That's
good. I'm
probably
not
gonna be a
staying out
memory I feel like
freezing.
we'll always remember as Ranger fans. Like, yo, remember when we played
Oh,
outside
that
and the Rangers
win.
came back against the
Yeah, that was
Islanders?
crazy.
Then they went on
That
to
was
win the Stanley
crazy.
Cup.
Just the difference in that team compared to last year was wild.
I don't know. Who knows?
We'll see. See what happens. Can they Hopefully they're good in January because 2 years ago they were terrible in
Oh
January.
my god, they're
Last year
awful.
they
Like, they
were
always have
good
that
in
1 month.
January.
Last year they sucked in November, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, well, they sucked pretty much every
In
month
December
last
they're pretty
year.
bad too.
Yeah, they were good in January last year, and then
I
they
know.
sucked in November. They were awful in November. They had that like that was the trade memo, and then they just sucked in March and April and the rest of the season.
I mean, yeah, like I said, they went like 4 months without winning 3 games in a row.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean
It's
they
like a
always
Mika's
usually have that
advantage
one
level
bad
run
month.
where he just doesn't score at even strength.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean every team's gonna have their ups and downs, but hopefully they don't have like. I mean, the January month
You
two
think they'll
months
go
ago.
over a year without 3 games in a row, or you think they'll win 3 games in a row this season before that? I guess. What would you say? What would be the date? It would be like when they won the 3rd game, so like November 19th of last year. Will they win 3 games before November 19th of this year?
Yeah, yeah, probably right.
They haven't won 3 games since
I don't
November
know.
19th.
Part of me thinks like the new coach boost, they're gonna come out and they're gonna play well.
Win the first
And
like
part of
10
me thinks
games of the season.
yeah, and part of me thinks they're gonna have a really bad start, and it's just gonna be pitchforks coming for Sullivan's head already.
That's insane. That they haven't won 3. They haven't won 3 games in a row since November 19th.
I don't know. What's more?
People think this team's
I
going to win the
could see
Stanley
that. I
Cup.
could see them coming out and rattling off like 8 of 10.
Who did they play the first 3 games besides
It's
the Penguins?
Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Pittsburgh.
Those could be 3 wins right there.
It could be.
Double
It could
revenge
be.
game for Mike Sullivan.
Double revenge game and 3 teams or 2 teams that
Yeah,
stink.
double revenge game, and then and the Sabres.
Damn Hughes, though, that's going to be a revenge game
Oh
opportunity for
shit,
him
you're
too.
right. Triple
It's going to
revenge.
double revenge. Yeah,
Revenge game. Back, like one just against his team, and then one like first time in Pittsburgh for Sullivan.
yeah,
And Dan Hughes, a revenge game versus the Rangers.
yeah.
Didn't even think about
Scanners
that.
are actually cooking with that one. Pittsburgh twice in the first 3 games.
They're both they're both at home, or that split.
Split home
That's what I
opener,
thought. Yeah,
games home,
I assume.
and then
I assume that the other one was away.
yeah, and then Buffalo's away as well.
Dan Hughes is gonna have the building for him.
Edmonton comes very early this year.
Ugh, I'll probably lose that game. I
Yeah.
wonder how many times Connor McDavid should come to the Rangers.
Yes, I agree. Get San Jose in there.
What a
Yeah,
statement right
they
there.
could win their first 3 games. 100%.
We'll see.
3-0, and then they got a Washington, Edmonton, Toronto. Lose those 3, 500.
I feel like they always beat Toronto when they play them early in the season.
Yeah, it's true. They won't beat Washington.
Probably not.
Definitely not. But anyway, they're not beating Washington on the road too. I don't think they play Washington on the road in the afternoon, but anytime they play Washington on the road in the afternoon, it's a disaster.
Oh yeah, I mean, last year they were horrible. I remember like a couple years ago
Every
they had
year
like
they're horrible for whatever
there
reason.
was like 1 year before the trade deadline, before they traded Kane, they like benched everyone because they wanted to save money, and they
Yeah.
got killed by them.
Actually, they do have a New Year's Eve Washington
In
noon
Washington?
game in Washington. That's a
Oh,
loss.
that's a scheduled loss.
Yep. They never beat Washington at home. Interesting. They have a road trip there. They're on the road for a long time, that stretch in December into January.
How long do they have off between the Olympics? Like 3
Long
weeks?
time. Yeah. No, 3 weeks actually. It's the 5th through the 26th. That's gonna stink.
Yeah, at least we got Olympic hockey.
Yeah. It does, but when you have that's like the grind of the season where it's just like you kind of get into the rhythm of every other night Rangers hockey, and
Yeah.
then for 3 weeks there's nothing. I mean, Olympic hockey, yeah, but
They are adding 2 more games the following year.
yeah, they are 84 game slate.
It's gonna be weird. I feel like just like the not having 82 games.
And 2 more games for the Rangers to make the playoffs.
That's true. 2 more games for Mika's advantage had to get a goal.
Yes.
2 more games for us to get 3 wins in a row too.
Yes.
Mika's advantage.
They don't get 3
I
wins
got
in
one
a
for
row.
you. Here's one. Yeah. We're dragging this video a little bit. Mika's advantage had to get a 5-on-5 goal or them to win 3 games in a row? What happens first?
Probably 5-5 goal.
5-on-5 goal?
Because
5-on-5 goal.
ideally in the process of winning
5-on-5
3
goal
games
to win the game.
to win the
Technically,
game, the Rangers winning 3 in a row.
like, oh, I guess it would be game-winning goal. It couldn't be an overtime because that'd be 3-on-3.
Well, you mean game winning? Like
I guess it wouldn't make
you're not
sense.
talking about like a goal in the first period and Igor shuts him out and the Rangers win 1-0.
Maybe like a late goal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? He
Oh
probably
yeah,
just,
like 5 minutes left, up
you know, all
4 to
right.
3, up
Let's
tied
we should have
3-3.
a
He
thing this year.
scores.
Like like we said, like it's like a season. We don't really know what's gonna happen. We can have a little fun with it. We should just have like a tracker, like a day since Mika Zibanejad scored a 5-on-5 goal.
Scored.
We should have it up
Yeah.
like the corner, and then just like let's see how high the number will get, and maybe we'll jinx it, and he'll start scoring like crazy. So
Yeah, and we'll actually get Mika March this year.
maybe
Mika May. Maybe Mika May.
every month is Mika month.
Yep. Miller May, Miller March. Anyway, any closing thoughts?
Don't just play hockey. Like don't like let's just play good hockey this year. That's all I want.
Yes. I agree. Competent hockey, competitive hockey. Win games. That's all we ask. Make playoffs. Be a fun team. Be like a scrappy, fun team. Kind of goes out there and surprises some people. Just don't be boring like last year.
Yes.
And just unlikable. They were so unlikable last year. So anyway, that'll do it. We'll be back soon. Season preview. Get into some stat predictions, maybe record prediction, full season prediction. So stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching.